So the topic that I have picked up is for discussion, right? So what this career counseling 2.0, I call it, from guidance to growth. So whenever we are providing the career guidance, or whenever we are trying to give guidance to a child or a student, the main problem that I have observed is we focus only on the career that they want to pick up based on the growth of that career, not or growth whether they will be able to grow in that career. It's a question we need to reframe in that way. So today's topic is regarding that. So how we can find out that proper fit where they get fulfilled, but by the job that they do, or where they are satisfied in the work, right? Especially the Gen Zs, they have a very lot of different sort of I can say demands and all, right. So they are very mature, they are ambitious, but at the same time they are confused due to a lot of data around them, right. So that's where we try to solve their confusion. So this is one topic that I have picked for our discussion today. Okay. So let me begin with so how we will be like, what we will be like. This is not like a, as I said, it's not a formal way thing, right? Like we are all here to discuss on this topic. So let's try to understand, but in a brief, like where we can revolve around our topics. Okay. So what we will cover, so we will see like what's the reason behind the, or what is the if you make a wrong career choice, right? If the students don't make the correct career choice early in their phase, what issues they will face, right? So why wrong career choices will derail that student's whole career very early, right? So that is very important. And the most three important mistakes, or the three major mistakes they do when or even career counselors do when they are counseling them, or when they are showing them their path, right? And I have one small 3F framework which I use to guide the students well. So we will discuss on that. And what are some future ready careers, right? With high potential of growth, not only for the person who is taking that, but also that career has a very big growth, right? Which we expect from our research. And we will discuss some practical mentoring toolkit, more sort of like a 4 5 steps which you can implement in the student's life, or when you're providing the guidance or counseling, which will improve their satisfaction in the counseling also. They will get the real value out of it. So this will be our overall agenda, I will say. So to just give an overview before I jump into this, a brief overview of like we are all meeting here for the first time, maybe especially this group. So to give a brief overview, so it has been a very long journey for me. So this and I'm very passionate about guiding students because of my humble beginnings, and I know really like how education can create opportunities, and how education can be a weapon in making your life better from a very humble beginnings, right? So when I was studying in IIT many years back, there also my the main difference that I saw in IITs and other colleges, the syllabus, academics, things were same, nothing much of a difference. But the confidence boost that we got from that college, or the professors there, and that confidence boost is what I feel the one important thing that I got from IIT, and which I correlate with the confidence that a counselor can, or the parents or the teachers can give a student early in their life. The confidence that they can impart. So confidence plays a vital role, right? So yeah, it has been a very big journey, and working with different big organizations like Apple and many other MNCs. So and career counseling is and guidance is my passion altogether, because I really believe that this is a nation building activity, and I'm truly a very national person. So I believe a lot in my country and the youth or the young minds who are growing, right? So, yeah, so that's my journey with 10, 15 years plus of experience in this domain with interacting with multiple people. And I have come up with this whole concepts which I will be sharing with all of you. And really interested to know all of you also, what, like as we progress in the session, all of you can share things which you would have learned or any topic that we are speaking, the real experiences you can share and keep it free. Like there's no compulsion that you need to speak and all. But yeah, but be free. We are all here to learn. Let's share. Let's grow together, right? And because everyone's knowledge is an expertise, and when we mix our expertise with each other, it becomes a bigger one, right? So let's focus on that. So yeah, so let's get started. So the first topic or the first point that I want to focus on is a very important one. Okay, choosing the wrong career early is the slowest way to fail fast. So do you all think this line, this statement is correct? So how many of you agree with this?
Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah, right.
I
So, yes, exactly. So see, choosing the wrong career early is the slowest way to fail fast. So let's start with the truth we all know, right? And even feel deep in our work. So every time a student says, "I think I will take science because it keeps, let's say, more options open," right? A student says to me this, "Okay, I will take science because it has a lot of options to explore." But what they are really saying is, "I don't know what I want, and no one helped me find out." Because that's what I feel. Really, that statement, right? When they say, "Okay, I'll take science because it will keep me a lot of options open later." But actually, what is happening there is they don't know what I want, or they don't know what they want, and no one has helped them out to figure it out. Also, that's what is coming out of it, right? So that's where we, right, as career counselors, come in. But the problem here is, or the dilemma here is, we are often coming into their life either too late or when students have, like it will be most of the time when students have already made a poor stream choice, whether science, commerce, even arts. They would have made already a poor stream choice, and there would be nothing much we would be able to do at that juncture, right? And sometimes already they would have started the coaching also for something they don't love already. So let's say someone who doesn't love biology at all, though they had a good marks in 10th, they would have started to prepare for NEET, and they have taken biology in the 11th, and already everything is, now that guy would have been good at maybe uh, psychology or maybe history. No one cared about it, but just he had marks. That doesn't mean that he's for science, right? So the thing is that early factor is very important, right? Now let's say when Elon Musk, right, he didn't wait till 22 to know that he wanted to reshape the industries. Or even Satya Nadella, right? Wasn't choosing some job titles. Basically, what he was chasing was impact, right? So he was interested in the impact that he creates. And they all started really early. And not like they had a specific plan also, right? So why? So the main question here is, so why are so many students still chasing what's trending instead of what fits? So this is very important to comparisons or analogy, right? So what's trending is totally different from what fits. But everyone is chasing this what's trending, right? When they choose a career, they will focus on what's trending, but not what fits. So the bigger issue is that we keep asking teens, "What do you want to be?" Right? So that is not a correct question, I feel. The deeper question should be, I will say, like, who do you want to become and why? So the right question here is, who do you want to become and why? So, for example, like I have met like a lot of students with high IQs. They have great grades also, but they don't have a clarity, no direction, no ownership of their path. Either they will be following the parents' paths or the friends' paths, and maybe some YouTube videos which guided them with no concrete proof, just a hype, right? So the reason why is because no one showed them how to connect their identity with the world of work, right? So everyone has an identity. So unless you don't connect that identity with the work, what they are going to do, obviously they will be confused, right? Like what they don't have clarity. And here's a truth already right? Career clarity is never a one-time activity. Can all of you agree that it's not a one-time activity? Anyone
Yes. Yeah.
who thinks we can give a career clarity in just a day?
Yeah, I totally agree because I think today's young youth people are struggling with that one single session, right? I think once they are already counseled, I think that I mean, we think that it's over, but then I think that won't help them in the long run.
Exactly. So career clarity is never a one-time assessment, right? It's not a checklist that we keep just quickly filling and then the work is done. But also it's so basically it's a process, right? And the earlier we start, the more powerful it will be, right? So it shouldn't be starting by 11th or 12th. So my question to all of you is, do you think, or from your experience, the interacting with students, schools and all, do you think schools give enough real world career clarity before class 12th?
No, sir.
Yeah. So so who all agree with that? Can you all just raise your hands? So who think that, yes, Jnaneshwari, yeah, yes, yes, exactly, right? So many of you agree that they are lagging there. So schools are not giving enough real world clarity before class 12th or 11th. So what I feel is it should start from 8, right? 8th standard, based on the current the current IQ of students and how the students understand overall, right? Uh, what I really feel is the career clarity should start before class 12, that is 8th. 8th is a very sweet spot that I have seen nowadays because students are very matured at 8th standard, not like before, right? 8th standard itself, they are exploring careers. I have seen students who are doing that. And at the same time, I have seen people, they are seeing a lot of YouTube videos. They are following very great personalities, people, and they're very ambitious at the 8th standard itself, based on our research and surveys, right? So what I feel is 8th is that correct time when that career counseling or the guidance should start. And from 8th, it should continue. It's not that one time you give the counseling and the things are done, right? So it should continue. So yeah, so now, so do the thing is, I would love to hear the from all of you. Like, do you all agree that 8th is a good starting point, or whether we can go beyond 8th, like maybe 7th, 6th, or even like you feel, no, 8th is too early, 10th is the correct period. So anyone has any views like that? Okay. So I hope most of you agree that, yeah, thank you for that. So, yeah, so this is one important, these are the problems, right? Like, which we need to um, basically adhere, and why the continuous assessment plays a very vital role, right? Now, let's try to see, so where really the students go wrong, right? Like, where like why do they choose a wrong career, or why do they land into a wrong career? Whose mistake is it? Or as a student's perspective, right, where do they go wrong? So do you all agree that students today aren't short on ambition? Like, do you think that students are not ambitious nowadays, or they are not dreaming big?
Yeah.
Big.
Guys, actually, proper guidance is not there for students, so they are also confused. Like, what should they do?
Yeah,
And
exactly. So
more sort of things are like in their surroundings. No one is properly guiding them, so I think so.
exactly, right. So they are dreaming big. They are also consuming enough content. They are online, but they are still making what I have seen is a three important mistakes over and over. Okay, because the main reason is the system around them hasn't evolved, right? So the system still around them, the parents, the teachers, they haven't evolved. They are still stuck in 1990 or 2000, right? They haven't evolved. And the three important mistakes that they make, right? So at EdBeDo, we have worked with students from, let's say, class 8 to 10, 8 to 10th. And these are the top three patterns, right? Which we have seen, especially when a student goes wrong, right? First is they follow fame, not fit. So let's say now AI is a boom, right? Like everyone is speaking about AI, AI, AI. Everywhere it's AI. So AI is hot right now. So I want to become a prompt engineer. Now data science, yeah, it pays well. I will do that. Now gaming is trending. Okay, so I will become a YouTuber or a game developer, right? So now these things, right? These aren't bad. I will not say these are bad career interests, really good ones. Uh, but they are often adopted because it's not they are thinking about it. It's all about the hype around these things, right? Which is making them to think that, yeah, this if I follow, it will give me fame and even maybe financial stability, right? It's not because they understand what the work is involved or what work is involved in these careers. Do you all agree that? Anyone has a contradictory thought on this? So they follow, I will not say all of them, but the majority of them, they are not thinking about whether I fit in that properly or not. They are just following the hype around them and they are deciding on it, right? So that's one important point where the students go wrong, right? Now, second is obviously parental pressure, right? It is like the most disastrous thing happening, especially in India, because of the parental pressure or the peer pressure. Students are choosing wrong careers and their whole life is stuck in something which they don't like, right? So they say, beta, engineering is safe. Now, when they go for medical, oh, medical is a respectable field. Uh, yeah, nowadays at IAS hype is there, right? So IAS Banjo, uh, government security and all, your job is secured, all those things. So, see, it's not that parents don't care, right? So they surely care, right, about the child. It's their child, their future, right? They surely care. Then why do they like? Why? Where do they go wrong, right? So they really care deeply, but the problem is most of them are giving advice based on what worked 20 years before, not what is working now. Because that's where they lived in, right? And that's where they grew in. And that's what they have seen. So they are not spending enough time to explore what is happening as far as career is concerned or a job is concerned in the current world, right? What's happening now? So again, we have met students who are really brilliant, right? At design, maybe psychology, or even storytelling, right? But sad to say, they are pushed into this physics, chemistry, maths, PCM with zero alignment. Okay, so they really don't know why they are taking PCM, though they are good in design, psychology, storytelling. So just because they take PCM because it's considered safe, but safety without suitability. So safety without suitability I will say, is a slow disaster. So are you really suitable for that job? Or does that job really suit you? Or what you're going to take, does it really suit you? It's not about safety, right? It's about suitability. And without suitability, it's a slow disaster. Okay. So that's the second important pattern we have seen. And the third most, this one actually correlates with the career counselor very much because without this, generally career counseling doesn't start or happen, especially in the students of or the school students, I'll say, and it is assessment. So sad to say, assessment overload is increasing a lot, right? So many schools now run this aptitude test, interest test, personality quizzes. But see, just by taking the assessments, things are not done, right? But then what? This question comes. So there is no follow up at all, or even there's no debrief of the assessment, what has been taken. And even there is no mentoring conversation in some schools. I will not say some schools, like it has been a trend in most of the schools. Career counseling is taken not very seriously, right? So though they have sometimes a career counselor, they meet the students. They don't have a proper framework. They don't have a proper criteria to monitor, track. Their tech is lagging, right? So a lot of issues there, which we have seen. So only thing, what happens is the student will walk away with a report and that's it. There's no meaning behind it. They don't know what that report really holds in their hand, how it can mold their future or how it can help them in getting into something which they really like and they will get satisfied in their life, right? So that doesn't happen. So this is very, very important thing, right? So just an assessment or any career tool without a career dialogue is just a confusion, not a clarity. So if I take an assessment also, if unless there is no follow-up career counseling or a mentoring given based on that report or something, it is another confusion, never a clarity, right? So these are the three patterns we have seen in the students when where they go wrong. And see, this is a stat, okay, that according to UNICEF, 93% of Indian students, can you say how are aware of how many careers? Can someone guess how many it might be? They know.
Mainly two, sir.
So the number is just 7. Okay, so can you agree that 93% of Indian students are aware of only 7 careers, to call few of them doctor, engineer, let's say lawyers, teacher, then banker, IAS officers, right? So this way they know only few, right? Only 7. This is a real stat based on UNICEF data. Okay, 93% of the Indian students are aware of this, and yeah, somewhere nearby, closer to these careers, not too far, right? The ballpark is just closer to this. So what I feel really is we don't have a career crisis. We have a lot of careers, right? Even if to call it out, there are 7,000 plus careers in India, if I can say, which I have come across, read about, right? But we don't have a career crisis. We have a guidance crisis, right? That is very, very important. So even students don't lack intelligence or curiosity or even motivation. So they have motivation, they have intelligence, they also have curiosity. What they lack is alignment. So if they're aligned to that proper path or career based on various frameworks and based on a proper guidance, right? They can do miracles and a lot of things will change in their life, right? So yeah, so overall, these three patterns, and this is what we have seen where the students go wrong. Anyone wants to add anything from this? Nyaneshwari? Yeah. Nyaneshwari, anything from your side you want to add?
No, sir. But yeah,
Yeah,
totally agree with you. What you think you're
yeah.
saying.
What about Aparna, Ajay, and others? Yeah, just calling out few names. Uh,
I'm just
Okay.
observing it. It's all very
Yeah.
nice. The reasons that you've shared. I think
Yeah.
pretty much this is why I chose to come into career counseling, Mr. Vishnu.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
to help others. So I
Yeah.
think most of us can relate to all of what you've shared so far. It's very insightful.
Exactly, right? So this is like I want all of you to feel this also as a reality that we have all already observed or felt about. And when we do that, that means it's a common thing, right? If all of us agree with this, that means it's a real fact, and it's there, right? And yeah, and this will help us to further improve our way of we deliver our counseling or guidance and bring in that proper results, which especially the tangible results, not like a long term goal, but a short term tangible results. So when we give counseling, it's not that they have to wait 5 years to know about the benefit of the guidance or the counseling that they got, but they should see that benefit in short term also. So that is where we need to lead our whole counseling efforts or counseling journey into that, where the even the students can or the students parents can observe that yeah, there are short term improvements in them, right? So that is very important, right? So now next I'm going to speak about very important framework which based on, as I said, based on my experience and what I've read, some lot of research papers around it, and based on that we have a 3F framework, we call it. Okay, so this framework actually helps us to properly guide a student, okay, or properly align them to what they really love in life, right? Or they like to do in life, or whether where they will get satisfied at the same time, they will not lose on the opportunities. There will be high demand of the job also, and they will be in a job where they also grow and the job also has a demand, right? So how does it work, right? So the 3F framework mainly has fit, future, and it's actually a small typo. It's a fulfillment. Okay, so it is fit, future, and fulfillment, not future, fulfillment. So, right. So, what do you mean by fit? Right. So, let's get practical. Uh, let's say if I want students to make some good career decision, I need to give them something better than a list of options, right? Like, so we need to give them a lens, a magnifying glass, right? That that's what we at Edvi do, what we call as a 3F career lens, we call it among the team. So not just what should you do, right? It's not about what you should do or should you do, but what fits you, what has a future, and what will fulfill you, right? So these three questions are very important. So what fits you, and what has a future, and what will fulfill you. When you do this three framework, right, you reach to a career where they have a growth also at the same time the career is also very beneficial to them, right? When you properly follow this three framework. So let's see one by one. So what do you mean by fit, right? So who am I really, right? So that question is where that fit comes. This is where you as a counselor make a very big difference. Okay, so what I have seen is too many students try to find careers by just looking outside, right? As we say in our culture, also see inside, right? So somewhat similar concepts. So what's cool, what's trending, right? Or what pays more? This is what they will see. What's cool? Okay, yeah, this is a very cool job. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a trending one. AI is trending, and it's paying a lot also. So this is the way the students will try to find the careers. But the best path is always not to see outside, but to see inside, right? So here is what that fit comes into picture. So like we ask the questions like their interests, right? What do they enjoy doing? Strengths, like what they are naturally good at. The values, what do I care really about, or what do I care about most deeply? And the personality, right? So do I like working with people, like working with data or the ideas? So what I really feel is our job here is to help students answer when it comes to fit what kind of work makes you feel alive, even when it's hard? I'm just saying that question again. I have to ask the student when I'm analyzing this fit, right? What kind of work makes you feels alive, even when it is hard? Do you all agree that this is very important statement to ask,
Yes.
right? Yes, exactly, right? So see, this is very, very important. This is where the things totally shift. I have hundreds of careers or 50 careers which I have shortlisted for the student or 20 careers. Doesn't matter, right? I have to show him that correct, or I have to guide him, I will say, rather than show him that correct career where he fits very well, which he will feel like, oh, I'm doing really good at that. Or even something very hard comes in that job, he feels, yeah, this is something which I will love doing it. Right. So what kind of work makes you feel alive, even when it's hard? So that is the question which, as a counselor, you need to ask when you're analyzing this fit. So how many of you agree that this question, okay, or I will just rephrase the question. How many of you ask this when you give counseling? Indirectly or directly? How many of you? So is it a new thing which you will now try it out with new counselings? Do you feel? Will you be trying to ask this question to your students? Like, what kind of work really you like, right? And even if it's hard. Okay, so that's where the fit things comes into it. Now, at EdV2, right, what we do is we combine this AI-based assessments and this even the real mentoring conversations also, because reports alone don't inspire people, right? People do, right? So what we do is with the assessments, we also combine that real mentoring conversations in the report, like a summary, right? Which they with each session and all, right? And that way we try to include in the report that human touch also, right? Where that real inspiration will come from the people, not purely from AI or the technology, right? Right. So now for this one, right? So there is one 3x3 reflection tool. I will share the template with all of you after the session. This is for this fit. Okay. So what you can ask, it's like a 3x3 matrix where what you do is you ask students to list simple 3 activities they enjoy doing, 3 topics they love learning about, and 3 skills they want to develop. Again, so what I ask is these 3 questions, 3 things, right? 3 activities they enjoy doing. So if I just draw it in front of you quickly, I'll share the template for you also, just a PDF version, so that you all can directly use it in case you would love it. So let's say I have a matrix. So I have a 3x3 matrix. Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so I have the activity, then I have the topics, then skills, and they need to fill in three of these things, right? So 3 activity they enjoy doing, like whatever the activity can be, they can fill that. The 3 topics they love to learn about, right? That they can fill here, and the skills they want to develop, right? Now, based on this, right, the simple grid will open up the fit-based insights immediately, right? So clearly you'll be able to see how the fit works, right, by knowing these things. Okay.
Vishnu?
Yeah.
Actually, are you writing something?
Oh, okay. It's not visible. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, only the PPT is visible.
Okay. Okay. Right.
I saw you writing something, so I thought let's not miss that.
Yeah. Is my screen visible to all now?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's
Yes.
visible.
So basically, again, activities, topics, and skills, right? And we in activities we have what three activities they love to do. In topics we have what three topics they like to learn, right? And what skills again they want to develop, right? With time. So these questions, if you ask, automatically they're fit, right? It will open like what jobs they fit into or what do they like. So this is something beyond that assessment, right? Like what they do. Assessments give you all those traditional things alone, but with that you need to come up with modern techniques like these frameworks, which will help you to improve your guidance and that you will be able to create that uniqueness in your guidance. Not only the students will feel that uniqueness, but you will also be able to give them higher value, right? And they will see that hard work you have put for them, right? Behind everything. Right. So now second is future, right? Fit is one thing which we saw. Now second is the future. So let me share my screen again. Yeah. So when it comes to future, this is very, very important. Okay. That's often missing, this future thing, right? Too many students are preparing, they prepare for the careers. And later on, they come to know that won't exist or even won't pay by the time they graduate. So let's say I'm now AI is a hype. Okay, everywhere AI is going on. Do you think that if I give the guidance to them now regarding AI, after 7 years, how the AI would have evolved? We don't know. Frankly, we don't know. Right? With what will happen to that career after 5 years, 7 years? How many of you, when before you give a job or you suggest a career, you consider this part that after 5 or 6 years, when they really get into action, whether that real demand will be there. That research, how many of you have been doing? Anyone? Because it's a very important thing, right? And I hope and I have seen that many lag here, right? Even in the counseling also, many are not updated with that real world trends and also that extrapolation, right? Like to extrapolate from, okay, now the job is here. After 5 years, how it will be. That sort of insights or that understanding is lagging, even in those who are giving the guidance or counseling, right? So which is very important. So the McKinsey, right? There's one big MNC called McKinsey. So they say that up to 40% of the current job will be automated by 2030. So how many of you knew this? 40% is a very big number, right? And when they will get automated by 2030, what do we mean by that? These are real jobs, right? Getting automated. Is it a big issue to be concerned about, especially for a counselor or not?
Yes.
Right? And also, it's not just a concern. You also need to know which are those jobs getting automated, isn't it? Agree, all of you?
Yes, totally.
Right? Now, the
Yes.
question exactly right. So, and even the World Economic Forum, right? Again, there is a paper they have published, and what they say is, what do you think the most important number one skill that a Gen Z should have in the future? Just call out some skills. What comes into your mind?
Renewable energy.
Anything else? Apurva, Nyaneshwari, Ajay?
Just guessing, maybe storytelling.
Yes. Anything else? Yeah, please be free. Okay, we are all here not for a lecture, right? Like we are all here to share, enjoy the time here. Like we are sitting on a weekend, right? Let's not make it. Yeah, please
Uh,
feel free.
may I?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Adaptability, because AI is there, and flexibility, adaptability, emotional intelligence.
Very great, really. So adaptability, right? It is very important because that's the number one skill the Gen Z should have. Okay, and those who develop this skill, World Economic Forum says that these people, right, who are very adaptable, they will survive very well. Okay, in the job market or the overall in the world global markets. So see, these are some important insights, right, which we need to get from the studies. So this is where the career counselor has to study, spend time in, not about knowing new careers alone, the trends, or they have to follow different researches, or what's happening in the global level. They have to follow various people who speak about various career predictions and all, right? That is where the future of the students depend on, and that is where a counselor can really show some impact, not just by giving a career, right? So we need to help students move beyond, right? Just titles like engineer, doctor, and think more like in a career cluster also. Not that, okay, think only of a job, engineer, doctor, or some jobs, right? Some game development analyst or something. But the main point here is you should make them think like a career cluster. That adaptability you need to improve. Okay. So, for example, if I say healthcare is never just MBBS, right? It includes medical technology, health data analytics, sports therapy, even mental wellness coaching, right? Sometimes. So, and similarly, let's say design. Design isn't just, so what all things come into your mind when I say design? Can someone call out? If someone likes design, right? Overall, like a cluster, what all various careers comes into your mind?
UI UX design,
Yes. Anything else? I heard someone
fashion
said
design.
storytelling, right? Actually, with design, there is something called AI generated storytelling career. Okay. So, and similarly, there are a lot of different careers, right, involved, especially with the careers that we see, right? So, how many of you get the point when I say career cluster, right? Not a career. How many of you got that point to think as a career cluster, not a career, when you give a suggestion? So when I say design, right? It's not just graphic design. It includes UI, UX, even game-based learning, right? Is a very big nowadays, very booming market, right? Where every education and all is getting gamed, or gamified, right? So it's a very big market, and there, those who are good at design and all, they have a very huge potential. Okay, right. So now to do this, right? Especially, what you need to do is for fit, we saw that question, right? Now for future, you need to do is you need to ask students to research one emerging career each month and present it to the peers. Now this future thing will not come just by once, right? Like it has to be a continuous effort, right? Especially those who are continuously mentoring someone, or publishing some articles and all, right? So they can push the students to research every month at least one emerging career which they feel okay, it has a very good potential, and they should present it to the peers, because that way the discussion that will happen among them will spot the trend. It's called a trend spotting exercise, right? We have so this is one important activity which you can do. Similarly, some career landscape maps are available online, right? In our Redwood, we have Career Hub. Similarly, career landscape maps are there, which you can really use for this understanding the future, and follow various, as I said, follow various magazines, research papers, even some big organizations like who really work closely with like McKinsey and all, right, who work closely with the job market and all. So get that proper data trends and try to understand whether it will be really there after 5 years or 4 years, not like a 1 year journey, right? So that's how the future depends, right? So how many of you have seen students they pick a path because it's familiar, not because it's forward looking? How many of you? So they pick a path because, yeah, it's familiar to them, not because it's forward looking. How many? So do you agree that many of them choose it because it's familiar? They
Yes.
don't think much about what will happen later, right? So this is very important. So we need to help them. So as a counselor, what I need to do here? That's a very big question, right? So we need to help them understand to zoom in to like to zoom out and zoom in, not just what's hot now, but what's still growing in 10 years. So such a longer vision every counselor should also have, right, which they can impart to the students, right? So that is where the future plays a vital role. And now I'm quickly moving on to the fulfillment. Now, fulfillment is what will sustain me in the long term, right? Uh, and finally, the piece no one talks about enough, which is joy, right? Whether they really get joy in what they are doing, the meaning or that personal growth, right? Because a career is not just about surviving. It's about you have to thrive a lot in that, right? So fulfillment includes like work-life balance, or they want to work with people with data or what, right? Like what ideas, or whether they choose path or the path they choose, whether it really has it allows for creativity, autonomy, or growth, whatever, right? Um, so the true career clarity happens when student says, I see myself growing in this, not just earning. Okay, so I repeat. Now, when it comes to fulfillment, the third one is fulfillment, as I said. The fulfillment comes only when we can say that, yeah, that whatever we have provided the guidance, the third one is also satisfied. Only when they really get answer to this question that I see myself growing in this and not just earning. So remind them, right? A job may pay the things and all, right? Like a job is very important for finance and financial stability and other things, but a career must feed their soul also, not just the job, right? Not just that whatever they need, their needs, but it should feed their soul also. The passion will fade, right? It will be there for sometimes, but what's the purpose of doing all this? So purpose is very important in defining the career, right? So that's where the real fulfillment will come from. And leave the students, even we, right, as we are in our careers. So is fulfillment important or not?
Very
Do you?
important.
Yes, right. So
Yeah.
just by passion, we won't get that, right? Like we need a purpose. Just by passion, things might change, right? We can't say anything. But if you have a real purpose, which is far more bigger concept than passion, then things will be more better, right? So this is the three framework we use: fit, future, and fulfillment. When you use this, finally, it will work for the student to connect the dots, right? Instead of saying, I want to be a data analyst because it's trending, they will say like, I enjoy solving puzzles, which is a fit. Data is everywhere, which is a future, I can say. And I love find meaning, right? I love finding meaning in numbers, which is fulfillment, rather than saying a data analyst, right? They can say this statement: I want to be a data analyst because it's trending. It's a common thing. But as a counselor, you have to hear from them after this framework you apply, that instead of saying I want to be a data analyst, they should say I love solving puzzles, data is everywhere. and I love finding numbers, meaning in numbers, which is fulfillment, right? So that's alignment. So which of the three F's, fit, future, or fulfillment, do your students struggle with most? Anyone? From what you have, like the n number of students that you have worked with, what do you feel? Which is the F they lack or they struggle? Okay.
Vishnu,
Yeah.
yeah, actually, I felt another, like say, like since no one else feels that these three Fs are fine, I think, everyone agrees with these three Fs, right? I feel the fulfillment part, I think most of the people miss is that the continuous, let's say, uh, that path that needs to be walked upon, right, to achieve
Mhm.
that goal once it is set. So I think
Yes.
that that journey, right? Once they set it, they need to walk on that. I think that
Hmm.
that part is missing in most of the
Yeah,
places.
exactly. Yes, yes, right. Exactly. Yeah, very true. Okay, so now moving on to the important part, I will just quickly move on to the careers of the future. Some careers which I have shortlisted based on my future, the trends and all what we follow, right, and what we feel really will be very important careers in the future also, right? And here we are not just focusing on which will pay most, which is currently booming, or what's safe, right? Not these questions. We are just redefining that trending, right? Uh, into like what will help grow as people, right? In purpose, skill, even confidence, maybe contribution, right? That way we are trying to see. Right? And here, if you see, I have shortlisted around seven careers. For example, AI ethics consultant, right? So it's not just building AI, right? It's guiding it responsibly. So this job is about that. So how you guide AI with responsibility, right? So it is perfect for students who are interested in tech, humanities, justice, right? So AI ethics consultant, right, is one job. And similarly, sustainability analyst or a climate tech innovator, these are like companies. This job is about companies are hiring experts, right, to reduce the carbon footprint and all. So this job is for that, right? Like who monitor those things and all. So and these are ideal for students who care deeply about the planet, right? So for them. Then game-based learning designer, again for those students who love storytelling and user experience, right? Then mental wellness coach, right, for teens. Now, this is like very, very much rising in demand, okay? Because with rising teen anxiety and even burnout, this is a field I really feel with both heart and mind that which will grow a lot, right? And especially this is for those who like psychology, even peer mentoring and coaching, right? So they can take this mental wellness coach. Then we have biomedical visualizer, health tech designer, right? Where it's a fit for students who like biology, creativity, and all, right? And basically designing the biological or the scientific tools and all, right? So that's where this thing comes into picture. Then cultural intelligence trainer. How many of you have heard about this job? What do they do? Cultural intelligence trainer. Anyone heard about this? Okay. So they help global teams work better across cultures, right? So if you have an industry, especially those are MNCs, which are there multiple industries, right? They work globally. So they help in building the teams uh, or that work culture, right? Which will work out across the cultures, right? In whichever. So especially those who are like who have communication, empathy, and languages, right? They like all highly valued here, right? So those students, right, or who like to get into such domains, they can. Okay. Similarly, education futurist or learning experience designer is very, very again a booming domain because education is becoming very much important, right? So most tech, psychology, and little bit of mix of pedagogy and all those, right? So all this read. So basically what they do is redesigning how education will work, right? In maybe next 10, 20 years. Yeah. These are some careers which I just wanted to shortlist. So see, main thing is students don't just want a title, okay? They want a mission. So let's help them find careers. Um, it's not about, it has to be an extension of who they are, or and it should not be a jail in which they have to grow, right? Or it should not be a cage in which they want to grow. So we have to find them careers in which they will grow, or it's an extension of who they are, right? Not a cage in which they have to grow into, right? So that is where all these things are about. Right. So uh, can anyone say, like, what's one future career you think students should hear more about, but rarely they do? Anyone? Any future career you think students should hear about? Okay, right. So next, let's move on to our final piece, right? So see, especially when you're mentoring someone, this is a mentoring toolkit which you can follow. 5 important activities, or I can say some tools and activities which you can follow to move from guidance to growth. First is a 3x3 reflection grid, which we saw to understand the interest, skill, and the role. Then career journaling is very good activity. Okay, so like you have to encourage the students to write one insight per week, right? Maybe from a mentor talk, webinar, or a challenge, and include small wins like interest explode, doubts faced. So they can write it down, right? They can write it down, and this way, that reflection, right? Reflecting on what they learned, it is very important because it is more powerful than any assessment report. I've really seen that. Okay, when we are the career journaling is how students start owning their journey, right? So they will own it, what they are trying to do. So this is more about after they are on to some path and all. Okay, not like first session, right? And third one is like real world immersion, obviously, seeing things live, right? Speaking to a professional. So basically, what you can do is, or the schools can do is, they can conduct some monthly, some career interview series, right? Where some professionals can come for 20, 30 minutes, or come online and give a talk where the students can really ask, what's your daily day really like? What do you love? What's hard? Right? All these questions they can ask. Now, seeing a human behind the job, right? It will actually create a very big impact for them, right? It will break that stereotypes, and also it will build that curiosity in them. So this activities is monthly the real world immersion, right? Is very, very useful. And monthly career challenges, this really I like a lot. This is where the things it will stick to, right? Whatever we have guided them, it will stick to them continuously, and they will stick to that career, and they will try to achieve it, right? That monthly career challenges you need to give, weekly, monthly, whatever, right? Um, which we are also working using AI in our EdVidu's student portal. We are trying to bring in some features where automatically our guidance system will keep them aligned to their careers by giving them weekly nudges or career challenges, right? Which they can do and just progress in their leaderboard. Right? So something like that, which we are trying to do. Let's see. It will come up soon. So yeah, and next is the counseling to coaching shift, right? Which is very important. So it's not, career counseling is not about giving answers anymore, right? It's about asking that better questions. You should ask more questions, right? You should question them and let them discover, right? So the most powerful question you can ask a student, what I feel is, what kind of life do you want to live? Or what career would make that possible, right? So what kind of life do you want to live, and what career would make that possible? So this will reframe the conversation from subject selection Again, I repeat, this will reframe the conversation from subject selection to life design, right? That's what I call. So they will be able to, it's a very powerful thing to do. Okay. So, yeah. So that's how the real guidance and the modern frameworks should focus towards, and the mentoring should happen. Okay. So career clarity is built in layers. So that is what the final takeaway from this slide is. Okay. Yeah. So, right. So here we end our important session on. Uh, so I hope all of you found it really interesting. And yeah, I know today it's a festival day. So many of our really experienced folks haven't joined. It would have been, I feel, a lot of interesting things would have come up. But soon they will join next week. And I have invited many of my friends also. So surely they will be joining few more in the next week. Um, Especially, I would love to hear from Don, sir. I'm trying to get his appointment because he's a person with 30 to 40 plus years of experience. He's a very uh, old champ, but yeah, he has a lot of, I will say, a gold mine of experience in career guidance. Even he's a very good marketing guy, also, right? So it will help us all to even not only to grow the students, but also grow us, right? How we can grow our like overall, right? So overall our experiences around the users. So surely I will be arranging a talk by him soon, and it will be a really interesting one also. This is just a beginning, right? We have a lot of interesting topics in on the way, not only related to general counseling or guidance topics, but also in how to increase or how to improve the clientele, how to use technology to scale fast. What are some easy and free techniques available? And lot of interesting topics which we will see, a lot of different materials, spaces, blogs, articles that you can follow to make things better in your career guidance or career counseling expertise, right? So, or to improve that overall experience of the users. So yeah, a lot of interesting topics on the way. And yeah, so always remember, clarity doesn't happen in one moment, right? It happens in layers. So our role is to keep peeling them back, one question at a time, right? Like you keep peeling. And yeah, so um, yeah, so let's take a so, breathe, and let's because what we are really doing in these sessions in our work every day is not just preparing students for careers, right? We are preparing them for clarity, for confidence, and for the change that is going to come, right? So yeah, any questions, anyone, anything you want to share? I open the space to all.
Yeah, Vishnu, first of all, I would like to thank that you had arranged such a session for, I think, I would say the field of career counseling, as you rightly mentioned, is very much underrated. Like, I mean, people don't take it. I mean, even the parents don't take it very seriously, right? But
Yeah,
then, let's say, a collection of career counselors like us, what you have arranged, right, would make things a little bit easier for counselors. Also, we can share our thoughts, and we can, walk in that path easier, in one step ahead, right?
yeah,
So I would like to thank you for that. And I would like to, let's say, hear more about such sessions, let's say, about the techniques, right? Or some technological tools maybe to make our focus on the guiding easier, right? So I would like maybe to just a hint to you so that whatever you session you plan next, right?
yeah.
It will be insightful in that way.
Yes, exactly, right. So next session, surely I'll be planning on some things which will reduce, I will the efforts and overall improve the experience of the students when they are performing or we are giving the counseling, and there are a lot of free tools available, which many don't know how to make. Some are like you can make it free through some techniques, right? And a lot of free tools available. And surely I'll be giving an overview on those tools also, so that it will
And
be really useful for everyone to use those. Yeah.
yeah, and just wanted to add one point, just what I observed in my let's say years of counseling. So I have seen that most students are very much let's say living in that fantasy world. Let's say, for example, I have seen a student who knows who plays cricket and who sees cricket very well, and he wants to become a cricketer. But then whether it's suited to him, whether it may be even his interest, but then whether it's skillful or is he skilled in that, making him understand that is the real challenge that a career counselor as myself have faced, right? So I would just wanted to share, would want to hear more a little bit on that problem, how to pull students out from that fantasy world to the reality
Mhm.
and make them walk on the path that suits them.
Yes, yes, yeah. Surely, we will pick up these topics in the upcoming sessions. Okay, really beautiful topics. I have made note of it, and surely I'll be suggesting or will be bringing up these topics to all. And even I will be looking for some good volunteers who are in their respective domains. So whenever we are speaking about, like, let's say, admission counseling, there are a lot of different types of counselings, right? Now today what we spoke is a general one, but when we focus on a specific topics, right, I will be calling out some experts for speaking on those topics also. So yeah, it will be an interesting journey. So stay tuned. And yeah, I don't want to take too much of time today. It's a festive day. So really thank you all for joining. Yeah, yeah, Nanishri, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Yeah. Nanishri, yeah.
Yes, actually, it's too late, but I just wanted to convey my regards for such a wonderful session. Thank you so much. And today I got to learn many things from you. So yeah, I just wanted to, share my gratitude. Thank you
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
really motivating, and really thank you for calling it out. Yeah. But yeah, my heartfelt thanks to you also, everyone here, because it's Raksha Bandhan, and I can see many of my sisters here, right? So happy Raksha Bandhan to all. And also, yeah, like to your brothers, and thank you for being here in such a important phase, right, or time. It's a festival, and thank you for giving me this valuable time. And I hope I have given some valuable insights to you too. Not that I have just spent some time, valuable time of yours, because I really feel time is valuable to everyone, and we should invest it very well. So yeah, and thank you all for joining, and hoping to meet you all in the next upcoming sessions also. Similarly, we will see some interesting topics, and we will try to explore, uncover, and different frameworks. I will share free tools, and because what I feel is sometimes spending a lot becomes difficult for many counselors, right? So that's one important pain point I have seen, uh, especially those who are entering into the domain in an early stage, right? So for them, a lot of free things nowadays in the technology world, right, which they can utilize. Um, yeah, so we'll have some very exciting topics, right, which will help you all. So hoping to see you all, and very much again, heartfelt thanks to everyone for joining, and meet you all in the next session. Thank you all. Have a good day, good
Yeah,
weekend
thanks a
ahead.
lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.